writers, and welcome to this online 6-week version of Composition 1, English 1020 here at UCM. My name, as listed on your schedule, is Chelsea Everly Orman, but please call me Miss Orman. Importantly, though, my email is Everly. However, if you type it into your email, it should suggest the correct email to you, regardless of which version of my last name you choose to use. So welcome to Composition 1 Online. It's so great to have you here. Something really important to understand about this course is that it is a 6-week course, which makes it inherently fast-paced and therefore inherently a little more difficult. So please be sure you have the time, resources, and the motivation to spend a significant amount of time per week on the coursework. Regardless of how long the course takes, we still write the same amount of papers in all composition classes at UCM. Usually, in a normal semester, we get 16 weeks to write 3 papers. In this course, we get 6. So that's 10 fewer weeks, again, making it inherently fast-paced. So if that sounds really difficult for you, if you tend to struggle with fast-paced courses, especially online fast-paced courses, you may want to consider instead taking this course in the normal 16-week format, or perhaps even in an 8-week format, which is also occasionally offered. But if you're in it to win it, let's go ahead and get started. A little bit about me, first of all. This is my family. My husband, Brandon, works at Rediscover in the Lee Summit, Raytown, Kansas City area. And this is my daughter, Ruby. She is now 8 years old. And so this is our little family. We do live in Warrensburg. I am from Warrensburg originally, from a family farm just north of Warrensburg. So I got my degree in education actually from UCM, and then master's degree in English from UCM as well. And this has just always been a really happy, peaceful place for us to be. We have 2 cats. This is Buddy. He is a gigantic tabby cat. Mostly wild, mostly doesn't enjoy humans unless he is hungry. And then this is my daughter's cat, Callie. Of course, a calico cat named Callie. If you give a little girl a calico, chances are she's going to name it Callie. So Callie is much more sweet and lovable, also extremely fluffy and annoying. So that's our little family and a brief introduction to us. So you know who is typing at you on the other side of your screen. First of all, what is Composition 1? So this is a writing class. We mainly write academic essays in our composition classes. This is the first class in a 2-course composition sequence. So after successfully completing Comp 1, you do move on to either Composition 2, or you may choose the Introduction to Technical Writing course. So in this class, we think about how do we compose effective essays. The goal is not only, though, to think about essays, but as a general education course, we have wider types of goals. So, for example, cultivating fundamental skills, both intellectual skills like critical thinking, practical skills like communication. And so our outcome here on the bottom is the writing competency, write with clarity and purpose using appropriate conventions of format, structure, and documentation. Additionally, just a little bit of information for you about the skills that employers tell us they are looking for. So in recent surveys, most of the most in-demand skills were actually not career-specific skills. They were what we call soft skills. And this word cloud shows by the size the most requested skills, and writing is the biggest because it was in these studies the most requested or most in-demand skill for employers to have. Keep in mind as well that even if you think a course like this or a general education course doesn't quite match what you intend to do in your career, there are statistics like these that only 20% of college graduates hold a job related to their major. And that doesn't mean they don't get a job. That means we often get a job or change jobs to a different type of professional job that's actually outside of our major. And so having a wide base of skills that you get from many different types of courses can actually give you a lot of flexibility, even if right now you don't think you're going to need or want that flexibility. So here are our objectives for all Composition 1 courses. You can see there are 3 columns, each representing a different strand of objectives. The first, writing process-based objectives, so things like brainstorming, revising, and editing. In the second column, rhetorical strategies, which essentially just means effectively writing and communicating your ideas. And then on the end, research and documentation. In Comp 1, we don't conduct outside research. Instead, we work with provided sources and sources that the whole class is referencing. But we will begin to practice, or for many of you, continue to practice things like incorporating quotations, summarizing sources, and responding to the ideas that we encounter in sources. You have a textbook for this course. It's a textbook that is edited and compiled by our faculty here in the UCM composition program. This is available only through the UCM bookstore, and please make sure you have the second edition because there are significant changes from the first edition. The technology that we use in this course, first of all, make sure you are always logged into your UCM Gmail. Log into that at least once a day. If there are any updates that are urgent, I may send emails there. Additionally, if you have questions for me, be sure that you are using your UCM student Gmail, as it has to come from that official source for me to be able to reply with any specific information for you. This course will be run through Brightspace. Please keep in mind Brightspace is a new platform for us here at UCM, so there may be some bumps in the road for us. There may be some things I think are posted and aren't working, so please do communicate if anything looks off on Brightspace or you can't find what you're looking for if anything is working incorrectly. But course materials, assignments, every week there'll be a checklist of important things to do and reminders. Any announcements will come through Brightspace at all. We will be typing papers on Google Docs and using Google Drive. All papers need to be typed on a single Google Doc throughout the entire writing process. And please make sure you have access to Zoom with video chat, preferred in case we want to do a paper conference or have an individual meeting via Zoom if you have any questions that you want to chat about. You can find more information about all of these things on the course syllabus, which is part of your Getting Started checklist work. But I want to run over just really quickly here a little bit about what types of coursework you can expect to have. As you can see by the pie chart here, there are 3 major papers, paper 1, 2, and 3, each becoming a little more important to the weighting of the class. Your final for this class is the revisions that you do as part of paper number 3. So essentially you get points not only for paper number 3, but for improving paper number 3. And then we will have 10 to 11 exercises and quizzes throughout the course of the semester, of the session here. And those will total 15% of the course points and the weight. Included in some of your coursework for this week and your Getting Started work is a little bit of reading about the concept of transitions from the textbook. So I want to get you started thinking about transitioning from wherever you're coming from. Many of you are coming straight from high school. Many of you are already in the professional world. Many of you may be in the military or raising a family. And transitioning into college or back into college is a pivotal moment of change. That's inherently difficult because change is hard. But I love what Dr. Miner reminds us of in the introduction to the textbook. It's important to think of transitions as vehicles for growth and development. In particular, I want you to think about how the expectations for writing and sort of the rules, in quotes, for writing change from high school and or the professional world to the university and to a composition class in particular. So one of the resource documents that I have assigned for the first week here goes over some of these changes and transitions to help you think about how the expectations and the guidelines and the rules for writing change depending on the context. So please make sure you take some time here in the very beginning to take a look at those. Again, this was just a brief introduction to the course. There's a separate video lesson that kind of gives you a tour of where everything is laid out on our Brightspace course. Please be sure to take a look at that. Otherwise, just continue working through the Getting Started checklist. Please make sure you take some time to read through the syllabus carefully, the course schedule carefully, and then spend some time getting to know Brightspace. Especially pay attention to the week 1 checklist. Every week you'll get that checklist, and there'll be a little bit of an introduction to that in the week 1 introduction video as well. Thanks so much, everybody. Please let me know via email if there's anything I need to know about you in particular to help support you better through this summer session, or if you have any questions or are struggling to find anything on our brand new Brightspace. Good luck this week.